You're really learning it from someone who's living it as opposed to just teaching something that they've learnt themselves. It's really like a first person experience.
Yeah, also I think it's quite funny. So in just now in hymn practice, they read out a reading from John, and sometimes you think, oh, I remember that, we just studied that. So they kind of get an all-round feeling for the subject.
I really do enjoy studying RS. I think it's the best subject that I study. The in-depth detail that they go to, especially Father Anselm, obviously being a monk, he really knows everything.
And he's quite funny in a different way. He's quite an interesting teacher. Makes it, his lessons are quite funny and interesting because
he's really enthusiastic about it.
Yeah,
because he knows everything about it. So yeah, he really gets into it when he talks about it.
I think the monastery gives a unique context to the intellectual study of the faith, partly because it's a living community with a living liturgy, and the whole school community is focused on the weekly Mass, and I think it provides a living context for the study of the Catholic faith.
In the third form, year 9, we spend half the term looking at Judaism, which is obviously fundamental as the background to Christianity, and then also half the term looking at Islam. As part of that, in that year, as Hugh said, we actually visit a mosque and a synagogue in Bristol. And then in the sixth form, in what we call general RS, which is compulsory for everyone, it's one period a week in each year group, we look at a variety of different topics, but among those, at the upper sixth level, we also do try to look at world religions, which normally involves the imam from Bath coming in to talk about Islam. If we can arrange it, a Buddhist nun or Buddhist monk coming in to talk about Buddhism and looking at other attitudes to world religions, so that when they leave here, they'd actually have some idea of what else there is out there, but on the basis of a good understanding of their own religion, which prevents, hopefully, great confusions that you sometimes see.
Everyone really enjoyed the GCSE course, so then that kind of spurs you on to want to do it for A-level as well. And again, I'll reiterate, the quality of teaching is quite exceptional, so that really spurs people on to go on and do it for A-level. And the main thing that encouraged me to do it was actually the course, the options that you have. It's very interesting, very wide variety of choices, and it's really good fun.
It seems the easiest subject because
it's so well taught.
Yeah, it is so well taught, and everyone knows that. So.
Yeah. It's the subject to do because you're going to do well in it because it's so well taught.
Yeah.
The course at A-level is very different, and it encourages similar but also much deeper questions. So our course involves philosophy of religion and then study of the New Testament. And in New Testament in particular, which is the part I normally teach, it encourages you to look at an ancient text, the fourth Gospel, John's Gospel, and to read it in its context, understanding what scholars have said about it. In addition to the normal academic RS that we have in Downside, there's also the opportunity, or has been for the past few years, of looking at and studying Biblical Hebrew as an activity.
Ukra, aleha, ki, alta, ra'ata, lfana.
Good, okay. So let's just have a look at what that actually meant. So Vayhi. We encourage them not just to know what the Catholic Church teaches, but they need to understand it. They need to know why the Church teaches something, and they can then come to their own conclusions about what they want to believe. Obviously, we're going to be encouraging them to be people of faith, but not everyone is. And so those people then can understand how people of the Catholic faith actually live out their lives and what they believe. And then at the end of that course, of course, they have a very good knowledge of the Catholic faith, and then hopefully they can carry on as practicing Catholics, knowing what it means, or if they are going to reject it, which some of them unfortunately might, at least they understand what they're rejecting, and they've got better reasons for it, rather than just saying, oh, it's boring, or something like that.
I mean, I think it's the two great subjects of the Western tradition are in there. I mean, there's philosophy and rational argument, and there's also, real theological depth. So we do look at, the fourth gospel, which is the most interesting and symbolic and rich of the gospels, but there's also, a unit on the atonement. What does it mean to be saved by the cross? Understanding the person of Christ. Did the resurrection actually happen? So you're really engaging with the sort of heart of the Christian faith. And I think in that way, the mixture of a scriptural text, a bit of theology and philosophy actually prepares people.
And it's interesting that those who come back and talk about their theological study at university always say, without exception, that having done the A-level has been a great basis for the degree course. And in fact, the stuff they do in the first year, sometimes even later, is often a repeat, obviously a deepening then, of things they've already covered at A-levels.
Well, my plan after I leave Downside is to continue my study of RS and to do theology at Leeds.